made. So let us rejoice and be glad in it. Hear my prayer, hear my prayer. Well, if I had another chance to start afresh again and live this life all over, things just wouldn't be the same. But since for tomorrow,
Oh yeah, it's just that time again.
I want to say thank you, Jesus.
Want me to say good morning to you, Grenada, Carriacou, PD, Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, the rest of the world.
Thank you for another.
For those of you out there in the diaspora, good morning.
Oh, please hear my prayer.
Yulin, good morning. I know you love this one.
Thank you for the sacrifice. Oh, merciful Father. Oh, yes, I'm still alive. Play the music. Oh, my child.
Yeah.
Oh, my child.
Well, this is a good one to sing along on the morning time.
Hear my prayer.
Despite what you're going through, today is a good day to have a good day. Yeah.
So even though my life is filled,
The pressures are crushing you and they're overwhelming.
I know you got the power
You can't fight this battle all by yourself.
around.
Let it go
There is
and let God.
that my God can.
Yeah.
And yes, you are my savior, and I put my trust in you. Oh, Father, thank you for the breath.
Sing along this one, man.
Oh, merciful Father, you provide my needs. Oh, Father, thank you for my day.
From Pity Matnick in the north to Point Celine in the south.
Through your grace, my soul is fed.
Yeah.
Oh, my child. Oh, my child. Play the music. Play it one more time.
27 minutes on to 7 o'clock. It's just imperative that I play this one on mornings here.
I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help comes from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. I can't tell the future, neither can I say the minute or the hour or my final day. But until my work is over, I'll try to do my best. And once I give myself this, you'll take care of the rest. Yes, Lord. Oh, Father.
Sing.
Thank you for the privilege, oh merciful Father, to share this love you give. Oh Father, not
Catherine Phillip, good morning. Mary E. Banks, good morning.
Father,
Theresa Clark.
I for you, play the music.
Veronica Sandy.
Oh my child, hear my cry.
Mildred Smith, good morning to you. And Shem. How's Shem doing this morning? Shem, have yourself a great day.
Hear my prayer.
I want to reach out and say happy birthday to two wonderful people.
Oh Father,
Gavon, we call him Gabe out there in Operator. Today's your birthday, bro. Have yourself a wonderful day.
strive to
I know the entire home circle, they're going to make it exceptional for you.
Father.
Celebrating fine style. Also celebrating today is Miss Jacob.
Service all to you.
Yeah, she's celebrating today, man. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Enjoy to the fullest. May the good Lord grant you longer life,
Just give.
health and strength. Stay healthy.
Oh Father, I don't know
Yeah.
the future holds. Oh
Rochelle Cummings, good morning. Margaret Alexander, good morning. Jillian McIntyre, good morning.
oh my child.
Sharon Bartholomew.
Hear my prayer, hear my prayer.
Hey, lovely. Let's do the word of the day today. And the word of the day today is the word gossip. Gossip, and that's a word that I know a lot of people know. Everybody knows this word gossip because it's integrally intertwined in our culture. Yeah, gossip. It is spelled Gossip. Gossip. Now, what it means, gossip means to gossip is to talk about the personal lives of other people.
Hear my prayer,
Yeah.
Well,
To talk about the personal lives of other people, and I may add,
and if
in a derogatory manner.
things just wouldn't be the same,
Here's how we can use the word in a sentence.
there is no guarantee.
The two siblings often gossip with each other about their neighbors via texting.
Oh, Father, thank you for another day.
Can you identify with this one?
Father, oh, please hear my prayer.
Yeah, you're texting away. I see she put up new curtains.
Thank you for this,
Hey, she has on the same dress today.
merciful Father. Oh, yes, I'm still alive. Let me
Watch your face. Your wife cursed him last night. These are all gossips, yeah? To talk about the personal lives of other people. Gossip, the word of the day.
hear my prayer.
And folks, it's time for the motivational tip for the day.
So even though my life is filled with so much ups and downs, I know you got the powers to turn this.
As Master Control will pull that up.
There is no miracle that my God can do.
And it says, it is better to fail in originality than to succeed in imitation.
You for the breath I breathe.
It's better to fail in originality than to succeed in imitation. In essence, be you.
For my daily bread,
It's better to fail being you
through your breath,
than to succeed being someone else.
oh my child.
Nadisha, good morning to you. I hope you got this one, yeah?
Letting me
Yeah. That's what we're going to do this morning. It's going to be a wonderful day. Good morning, Lovey. How you doing? Yeah.
I will lift up my eyes unto the hills from whence cometh my help. My help comes.
22 minutes on to the hour of 7 o'clock.
I can't tell the future, neither can I say the minute or the hour. All my fine
All those of you who are, supporting the folks in Carriacou and Petite Martinique and also the north of the island. I want us not to forget the north of the island.
this,
As a matter of fact, all the areas that have been adversely affected by the hurricane. That hurricane Beryl.
oh merciful Father, to share this love you give.
All those of you who are supporting and reaching out,
Nothing more I want to do,
your reward will be coming.
Father, than to live my life.
Yeah.
Play the music.
And there are quite a number of folks who are doing it in a hush-hush way, They don't want the publicity. So you're sowing in darkness, you'll reap in the light.
Hear my prayer.
Pastor Laurie Dominic and the First Family, good morning to you. Sister Nadika, good morning, and the children. The congregation of the West, the whole New Testament Church of God, to all the spiritual leaders of the nation, man. Continue praying for us.
To walk the walk. Yes. Oh,
It's now time for us to do the nutritional tip for the day. Let's get this on.
service all to you.
Follow these steps and you'll be fine. Drink lots of water.
Having a diet that is high in sugar can negatively affect your body. A diet containing too much sugars can lead to insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, reduced good cholesterol, obesity, heart disease, and even high blood pressure. According to healthdirect.gov.au, naturally occurring sugars are sugars that come from natural or organic foods such as the lactose present in milk, fructose present in fruit and honey, glucose found in fruits and vegetables, and maltose found in wheat and barley. On the other hand, added sugars are sugars that are added to a food during manufacturing or food preparation process. These sugars are added by manufacturers for many reasons, including to make food taste sweeter, extend its shelf life, or to improve its appearance. Sugar is a carbohydrate used by the body as a source of energy. When we consume too much sugar, the body uses what it needs and stores the rest for later in the muscles and other parts of the body as fat. The body processes most added sugars quickly, either immediately for energy or it is sent directly to the liver for fat storage. When we eat too much added sugars, the body's blood glucose level drops quickly. properly. This is known as a sugar crash, which makes you irritable and hungry and leaves you craving more food. The body does not need added sugar to function properly, as some foods containing added sugar contribute additional calories and little to no nutrients and unhealthy fats. Food and drinks may contain a combination of natural sugars and added sugars. Examples of added sugars are brown and granulated sugar, corn sweetener, corn syrup and high fructose corn syrup, honey, malt sugar and molasses, and sugar molecules ending in ose, such as dextrose, fructose, glucose, lactose, maltose, and sucrose. It is advised that you eat added sugar in moderation, but limit your consumption of foods that contain refined or processed sugars such as sodas and sweetened beverages and juices, cakes and cookies, candies and confectionaries. Until next time, the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council reminds you to look, eat, and feel well.
Rolls ring a bell? Yes, they keep the...
Okay, folks, that was your nutritional tip for the day, taking a time to 18 minutes onto the 7 o'clock. It's a good day to have a good day. All right, at this time, folks, I give you the buzzing stories this morning. What's buzzing this morning? Well, Grenada, the CBI program deadline has been extended. Also, in the region, we hear that fear grips Tobago as the island records a quadruple murder. Meaning 4 people got murdered, right? Lovely. Well, that's not lovely. The explanation is, but the incident is not. Internationally, Biden says Ukraine will stop Putin. Biden tells that to his NATO counterparts in a forceful speech. And in sports, Jason Holder and Jadon Sills back as West Indies 11 named for England, the first test against England. So we've got these and other stories coming up in the morning's edition of News, Sports and the Weather right here on Classic. And just want to let you know this morning we will be joined by a representative from the GIS again on Mondays and Wednesdays as they keep us abreast with what's happening with the relief efforts after the passage of Hurricane Beryl. And hopefully we'll have an interactive conversation subsequently. Of course, today being Wednesday, I have to tell you, in these times where every dollar counts, we will be giving you the special deals that are on at the Real Value IGA. But nonetheless, folks, at this time, we take that break because we've got to head on to the AM edition of News, Sports and the Weather right here on Classic on the GBN platform.
Get your posse ready as the Spice Mass Corporation presents the highly anticipated Groovy and Power Soca Prelims. Groovy and Power Soca Prelims. Dates for the Groovy Soca Prelims: Wednesday, July 10th to Friday, July 12th on the Tantin Netball Court. And the Power Soca Prelims kicks off this Saturday, July 13th to Monday, July 15th on the Lassages Hard Court in St. David's. Admission only $10. Showtime 8 p.m. sharp. It's Soca and most Soca. It's the Groovy and Power Soca Prelims. Don't miss the experience.
Where are you come out? Where are you from? How was leave free promotion? It is all budget. Somebody send out the warning.
Spend $50 or more at any Hubbard's department or participating outlets for a chance to win free fuel, free drinks, free prizes, free property and vehicular insurance, free Hub TV and internet, free electricity, free coke, free water, free cooking gas, free paint supplies, free Dutch Lady milk, free passes to Sunshine promotion events for 2024, free groceries, all for one whole year. And every winner receives a free lunch package. But that's not all. Drive away in style in a brand new Isuzu D-Max. It sips, it doesn't guzzle. So fill out your entries and place them into the marked entry boxes. This promotion is brought to you in part by Dutch Lady, Danny, Promo, Supreme Bleach, Creative Chef, Grenlag, Floor, Salt Petroleum, Grenadian General Insurance Company Limited, Coca-Cola, Sunshine Promotions, Caribberies, Coop Bag, Sesame Spain, and Food Fear. Promotion runs from April 2nd to December 24. Terms and conditions apply.
Mark your calendars for a day of non-stop fun and laughter. The St. George's Lions Club, Spice Mass, and Grenlag present All Mass 2024. It's all happening at the Grenada Youth Center on Sunday, July 21st, starting at 3 p.m. Tickets are just $35 for adults and $15 for children 12 and under. Grab yours from any Lions and Leo members, Grenadian Optical, and Clear Vision. All Mass promises humorous antics and infectious laughter for the whole family. Be there. This advertisement sponsored by Demerara Mutual Life. Am with them.
Coming up, African emancipation celebrations build towards the big day. Crop Over rolls towards its own colorful conclusion. One of this region's top banks continues to demonstrate the power to make a difference. Welcome to another award-winning Home Away from Home. Caribbean athletes ready for the world. Souvenirs stitched from scratch.
This is the morning GBN news for today, Wednesday, July 10th, 2024. Coming up in the news, a Grenada CBI program deadline extended. In the region, fear grips Tobago as island records quadruple murder. Internationally, Ukraine will stop Putin, Biden tells NATO in a forceful speech. And in sports, Holder and Sills back as West Indies 11 named for the first England test. We've got the details to these and so much more after these messages.
In our part of the world, we need to be prepared for natural disasters like storms and hurricanes, even outside of the season. I'm sure you'll agree that keeping our loved ones, homes, and businesses safe is important. So, I came up with a few quick tips to help you stay safe. First, make a family disaster plan and ensure that everyone in your household is familiar and comfortable with it. Remember to add batteries and flashlights to your emergency kit. Don't be caught off guard by natural disasters. Prepare now. For more information, visit grenlag.com.
Good morning with the news in detail. I am Gordon Joseph. Grenada has extended the deadline for applicants to its Citizenship by Investment or the CBI program following the passage of Hurricane Beryl. The new deadline is now set for July 12, 2024. Originally, a revised pricing structure for the CBI program was scheduled to take effect on July 1. However, the category for a hurricane struck the island on the same day, causing widespread disruption and shutting down all banking systems. In a release, the IMA explained that Hurricane Beryl's impact hindered the ability of agents and the Grenada Cooperative Bank to meet the original deadline, necessitating additional time for preparation, recovery, and operational adjustments. It reads in part, and I quote, "Acknowledging the unforeseen challenges faced by our valued partners during this period, the agency has decided to extend the application submission deadline to July 12, 2024. This extension aims to provide agents and the bank adequate time to effectively manage their responsibilities considering recent events, thereby ensuring the smooth processing of applications under the updated pricing framework." End of quote. In March 2024, all countries except for St. Lucia in the OECS with a CBI program signed a memorandum of understanding that, among other things, established the minimum investment threshold. St. Lucia has signed since. That amount as signed was US $200,000 and the starting date was scheduled July 1st. Grenada's revised pricing structure was published in an extraordinary publication of the Government Gazette on June 26th. The threshold for single applicants under the National Transformation Fund, the NTF, is US $235,000, while investing in an approved project will be US $270,000 for a single applicant for a family or a family of up to 4. Meanwhile, the Immigration Department has begun printing the upgraded passports. Last December, Finance Minister Dennis Cornwall, in his 2024 budget presentation, announced that Grenadian passport renewals from 2024 onwards would be valid for 10 years, double the previous 5-year duration. Currently, head of the Immigration and Passport Department, ASP Elian Purcell, provided an update.
Okay, today we have started actually printing the passport that are valid for an extended 10-year period. However, we started taking applications from last week. We have extended the waiting period for that passport by 5 days. So it's 5 business days for that particular, because of the volume of the intake. And we were not able to process due to the hurricane. And we had a delay as well because of the hurricane in actually deploying the upgraded software to be able to process the passport. So today we have worked along with the developers of the system, and we are able to successfully deploy the system or the upgrade to the system, and we have printed the first set of passports today.
The issuance of the G-Series non-biometric passports by Grenada on August 4, 2006, with a 5-year validity, was in accordance with the Grenadian Citizenship Act of 1976. However, with the changing times and evolving needs of citizens, the government recognized the need to adapt and enhance passport services. The NDC-led government also hopes to digitize application process for passports as they continue the paperless drive within the public sector. ASP Purcell said they have accepted a substantial number of applications, hence going forward they would like to keep the extended period of 5 days for issuance of the passport until the backlog is cleared. He said they have also made some adjustments.
Yes, there is an additional security feature to the extended life of the passport, and also internally on the document itself we have made some security changes too. Yes, we have not seen any foreseeable major challenges as it relates to our processes. Our internal processes remains very robust, mindful of security, and we want to assure the public that we'll continue to produce a very high quality passport for the state of Grenada, and we'll take all precautions to guarantee the safety of the Grenada passport.
In our final local story, in response to the devastating impact of Hurricane Beryl, which struck on July 1st, the European Union has allocated 450,000 euros in humanitarian aid to assist those affected in Grenada and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The hurricane caused widespread destruction across Grenada, particularly affecting residential and commercial properties in the northern, eastern, eastern and western regions of the island. The Grenadine islands of Carriacou and Pitimatnik, which are under Grenadian administration, experienced near total destruction or damage to their housing stock. In response to the impact of Hurricane Beryl in the Lesser Antilles, the EU has approved humanitarian aid to help address the most urgent needs of the affected populations in Grenada and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and announced a news release from the European Commission office in Barbados. The aid will be channeled through the European Civil Protection and Humanitarian Aid Operations, or ECHO, that department of the European Commission. The funding will be utilized to aid the most vulnerable people affected by the hurricane. This includes cash assistance, water, sanitation, hygiene supplies, food items, and other essential needs. Now that concludes the first segment of the news. Stay with us. The regional roundup and our international developments are straight ahead. It's away from 7 o'clock. We now join the Caribbean News Desk for this morning's edition of the Caribbean News Roundup.
From the Caribbean News Desk, the morning edition. Good morning. I'm Dennis Chabrol.
And I'm Kendall Morgan with the latest from across the Caribbean.
As the island of Tobago continues to grapple with gang-related killings, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley yesterday convened a meeting of the National Security Council on the island. In attendance were National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines, Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly Farley Augustine, and the Police Commissioner Earl Christopher, and other top officers of the police service. The meeting followed Monday's killing of 4 men in Tobago's Black Rock area, which pushed the death toll past last year's total of 14. The Tobago Chief Secretary says he is satisfied with the Security Council's strategies to address the problem, which will include an increased police presence on the island.
Yes, I'm satisfied with the plans discussed today, and if we are able to execute them, resource challenges and all, I think we'll be able to make a significant dent. We are not too far gone. I don't think we have gone over the edge as yet, but we don't want to get to that point. So I want you to see today's meeting as being proactive and ensuring that we're not waiting until the situation worsens to then respond.
And Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has pledged the central government's commitment to taking a lead role in addressing Tobago's safety and security challenge.
The police told us in great detail what can help them to improve the situation, and the central government will take steps to make every one of threads available.
Cuban authorities say they have foiled a suspected terror plot involving weapons smuggled from the United States. Lead criminal investigator at Cuba's Interior Ministry, Victor Alvarez Valle, says the plot first came to light in December last year when authorities said they detained a man who had illegally arrived on the island from the neighboring U.S. state of Florida carrying guns, ammunition, and military gear.
Jamaica's Minister of Finance and Public Service, Nigel Clark, says digital currencies will soon be included in his country's anti-money laundering and countering of financing regime. He made the announcement shortly after stating that Jamaica is now complying with 37 of the 40 recommendations by the Financial Action Task Force in the fight against financial crimes.
Madam Speaker, we are committed to bring to this Honourable House legislation to be promulgated for the regulation of virtual assets and their service providers. Virtual assets include things like cryptocurrencies and other such token currencies, Madam Speaker, which we have to ensure are brought under the auspices of regulation not with only a law passed, but with a law being implemented long before our fifth round evaluation.
Grenada on Tuesday ended a state of emergency on sister isles Carriacou and Petit Martinique, which was imposed after Hurricane Beryl's almost total devastation of the islands. But the two islands, along with the northern parish of St. Patrick's and Grenada, will still be designated a disaster zone until the end of September. In the meantime, security forces from Antigua and Barbuda and Guyana are on the islands supporting the recovery efforts and helping to create temporary emergency shelters for any new weather systems. Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell.
We also have 8 soldiers from the Defence Force of Guyana. These 8 soldiers form part of an advanced team that is there to assess the state of buildings in Carriacou and to provide support with the relief and distribution of food and other supplies. We expect additional soldiers from Guyana to come up, we hope, by the end of the week. The initial task will be to assist us with identifying large buildings, whether they be privately owned or publicly owned, that can be repaired temporarily to ensure that we have additional accommodation.
And several Caribbean countries led by Trinidad and Tobago, Dominica and St. Lucia will later this week begin sending linesmen and equipment to mainland Grenada to help restore electricity to the northern part of the island, which was more badly affected than originally thought.
We are hoping as much as possible that we can accelerate the restoration of electricity throughout Grenada, and then the crews will move to Carriacou and Petit Martinique to join the efforts there.
Before we go, a reminder that today is Independence Day in the Bahamas.
It is also the National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving in Montserrat, as Montserratians remember the destructive eruptions of the Soufriere Hills volcano, which began in July 1995. This has been the morning edition from the Caribbean News Desk. You may contact us by phone or WhatsApp on +592 700 9293.
And looking further afield, Joe Biden forcefully defended the foreign policy achievements of his presidency as he welcomed NATO member states to a Washington summit on Tuesday that is being closely watched by allies at home and abroad for proof that the embattled U.S. president can still lead. Biden, who is 81, has endured 12 days of withering questions about his fitness for office, as some of his fellow Democrats on Capitol Hill and campaign donors fear that he will lose the 5th November election after halting debate performance on June 27. Vladimir Putin wants nothing less than Ukraine's total subjugation and to wipe out Ukraine off the map, Biden said, referring to Russian President. Ukraine can and will stop Putin, so said Biden. The White House is hoping he can turn the page on speculation with his speech, in which he spoke with a strong and confident voice and avoided any verbal flubs or signs of confusion that marked his debate performance. Biden has rebuffed calls to step aside in his race against Republican Donald Trump, who is 78, vowing to beat him in November. So far, he still has the support of most of his party's elite. The U.S. president has made restoring and traditional U.S. alliances abroad the centerpiece of his foreign policy after Trump challenged allies as part of an America First approach. The winner in November could have a substantial impact on the future of NATO, Europe, and the rest of the world. Now that concludes the regional roundup and international developments. Stay with us. The sporting highlights are straight ahead. Oh, well, good morning, sporting fans. Talking cricket, Michael Lewis will open alongside captain Craig Brathwaite for the West Indies in the first test against England, which is set to start today at Lord's. Lewis, the 23-year-old, comes into the team on the back of a brilliant season for the Leeward Islands in the 2024 West Indies Championship, where he scored 682 runs in 14 innings at an average of 49. He's coming off a first innings half century in the warm-up game against the County Select 11 last week. Retaining their places in the order are Kirk Mackenzie at 3, Alec Athens at 4, Kavem Hodge at 5. Mackenzie, it must be noted that Mackenzie and Athens scored 3 half centuries between them in the warm-up fixture last week, while Hodge scored a brilliant 100. So all 3 are coming into the first test in some good form. Also making return to the West Indies Test team after missing the Australia series in December are former captain Jason Holder and young pacer Jaden Sales. Both Holder and Sales recently enjoyed successful county championship stints, respectively. Gudakesh Moti will be the lone spinner in the 11, while Holder and Sales will be joined in the pace attack by Alzari and Shamar Joseph. Joshua De Silva also retains his place behind the stumps. The full 11 is as follows: Craig Brathwaite, captain; Michael Lewis, Kirk Mackenzie, Alec Athens, Kavem Hodge, Jason Holder, Joshua De Silva, Gudakesh Moti, Jaden Sills, Alzari Joseph, and Shamar Joseph. May they win the series against England. And that concludes the sporting highlights. At this time, we'll have more sports for you in our luncheon edition of News, Sports and the Weather. At this time, folks, we now join the Met office at the Morris Bishop International Airport for the weather forecast. For the latest weather forecast, we join Cassie Johnson at the Met office of the MBIA. Good morning, Cassie.
Good morning to you and good morning to the listeners. Here is the weather for today, Wednesday, 10th July 2024. Currently at the airport, conditions are fair and hazy. Winds are from the east at 14 miles per hour. Pressure 1012.1 millibars, which is below normal and rising. Present temperature 28.2 degrees Celsius, relative humidity 84%. Yesterday's maximum temperature was 31.5 degrees Celsius. Minimum temperature last night 26.6 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, there was 0.9 millimeters of rainfall at the airport, which brings the total for the month to 53.9 millimeters. Looking at the public forecast valid for today and tonight, the weather is expected to be generally fair and hazy, increasing in cloudiness overnight with brief isolated showers. A moderate haze advisory is in effect. Today's maximum temperature 31.5 degrees Celsius. Winds northeasterly to easterly at 12 to 22 miles per hour. Seas moderate, waves 4 to 6 feet in open waters. Tides are currently falling and will be low at 12:45 p.m., high at 7 p.m. Sunset today 6:36, sunrise tomorrow 5:49. Again, the weather is expected to be generally fair and hazy, increasing in cloudiness overnight with brief isolated showers. A moderate haze advisory is in effect. From the Met office, I am Cassia Johnson.
Cassie, before you run off, in a bid to be as prepared as possible, I'd like to find out what's happening in a matter of days on your, your forecast for the next day or 3 days, up to 3 days. What are we seeing on our shores?
Okay, well, we have an approaching tropical wave, but the Saharan dust is keeping convection at a minimum. That axis should cross overnight, and another wave is approaching that seems to have a bit more moisture with it, and we'll expect it by Thursday, Friday.
That's Thursday, Friday this week or next week?
Yes, this week.
Okay, wow, the waves are coming like crazy, man.
Yes.
Is there any way the Met Office can just pray and have the waves, bypass us?
We'll do that.
Have a good day, Cassie.
Thank you, Susie.
God bless. Folks, the weather report came to you with the kind compliments of Rennick and Thompson Company Limited.
It's the Quartz Appliance Event. Cook it, fry it, bake it on a new Mabe stove for only $1,799. Stack it, pack it, and chill it with a Frigidaire 4-mount fridge for $2,749. Laundry piling up? Wash it, spin it, dry it in a Frigidaire 17-kilogram washing machine top, only $2,399. Get it now and pay later. It's the Quartz Appliance Event, only at Quartz, bringing value home. Offers end July 24th, 2024. Conditions apply.
It's 11 minutes after 7 o'clock, and to end the news, a recap of the headlines. A Grenada CBI program deadline has been extended. In the region, fear grips Tobago as island records quadruple murder. Internationally, Ukraine will stop Putin, Biden tells NATO in a forceful speech. And in sports, Holder and Sills back as West Indies 11 named for the first test against England. And that test is starting, well, it should have started already at Lord's. That's been the morning edition of news for today, Wednesday, July 10th, 2024. On behalf of the entire news department, I am Gordon Joseph, thanking you for listening, wishing you a productive day, and extending the invitation to you to stick and stay with the network, because we are with you anywhere and everywhere.
Served Grenada for decades. We are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire and accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada, St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
Grenada is on a track to become a Caribbean trendsetter for waste management and recycling. We are establishing a recycling culture to rid our landfill, our country, of plastic waste. Under the OECS Recycle Pilot Project, residents and the business sector are being encouraged to see the potential in plastic. Every day, plastic bottles can be stored and prepared for collection and recycling. Plastic is not waste. There is investment opportunity in plastic recycling. Sustainable clean water, food safety, beautiful beaches, marine spaces, and a potential arena for investment for OECS entrepreneurs. Let's recycle and explore avenues to convert plastic into profit.
Recycle OECS. Green actions, blue oceans.
Struggling to secure a business loan because of limited credit history or loan security? The Eastern Caribbean Partial Credit Guarantee has the security you need. The Eastern Caribbean Partial Credit Guarantee, ECPCGC, is a bridge to accessible financing for micro, small, and medium enterprises in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. Backed by the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank with funding from the World Bank. We work with financial institutions to help MSMEs get credit to stay in business, grow their business, or invest in green technologies. Our process is simple. Apply for a loan at your local lender. If collateral is in question, our partial credit guarantee is the answer. Once you meet the criteria, we pledge up to 80% of the collateral you're short of. Reach out to an ECPCGC participating lender or visit www.ecpcgc.org for more information. The Eastern Caribbean Partial Credit Guarantee for MSMEs. Your business, your growth, our guarantee.
Are you looking for a reliable, affordable, and customer-friendly pharmacy? Look no further than Hills and Valley Pharmacy, the nation's leading healthcare products and services provider. We are committed to serving you at convenient locations. Find an extensive and affordable selection of prescription and over-the-counter drugs and medical supplies at Church Street, Hillsborough, Carriacou, Jubilee Street, Grenville, St. Andrew, near the bus terminal, and Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George. Our committed team is always available to offer valuable assistance for managing your health and wellness. Discover the additional benefits of our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street and our Medcare Center on Grenville Street, where we provide in-house physiotherapy, massage therapy, doctor consultations, and eye care services. Our commitment is to satisfy all your healthcare needs, including competitive prices, loyalty rewards, and special discounts for seniors. Contact us at 435-6904 and WhatsApp 535-4734. Choose Hills and Valley Pharmacy. Remember, your health is our business.
Running a business is hard. Running a creative business, that's 10 times harder. The Grenada Office of Creative Affairs understands the unique challenges creative entrepreneurs face, especially when it comes to securing financing. That's why they have partnered with the Grenada Development Bank to launch the Creative and Cultural Industries Business Development Fund. Hello. Designed specifically for creative entrepreneurs like you and me. Unlock your full potential with our tailored financing options. Access loans of up to $50,000 at just 2% interest, empowering you to upgrade and expand your business. Receive business support vouchers of up to $5,000 to enhance your business plans, financial strategies, or marketing efforts. But that's not all. Nonprofits and community-based projects can secure grants of up to $25,000. So, what are you waiting for? Make the call today and learn how you can finance your dreams. Contact the Grenada Development Bank and unleash your creativity.
All right, welcome one. It's 18 minutes after the 7 o'clock hour. Welcome one and welcome all. In the studio with me this morning, replacing Nadma's representation this morning, I have with me the chairman of the Grenada Tourism Authority, Mr. Randall Doland. Yes. All right. And I was telling him just before we came on the set, every day I see him as he's not getting older. He's aging, but not getting older. He looks more like his dad. Good morning to the mighty Manico.
Yeah. Well, and morning to you, and morning to all of your viewers and listeners.
Good. Okay. So, well, of course, the main focal point this morning is Beryl and how it has impacted the tourism product of Grenada. We were also saying that you never waste a crisis, because amidst the crisis, something strange, remarkably strange happened. Yesterday we had over 2,300 passengers coming to Grenada. So, how has Beryl affected the tourism sector?
Well, I mean, I think about it is that, with the passage of Hurricane Beryl, the main tourism belt, the tourism infrastructure, as well as our financial centers, luckily, has remained intact on mainland Grenada. And because of that, we were able to help with the aid relief going to Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Tourism has always been a main pillar of the Grenadian economy. And a good example and demonstration of the resilience of tourism is the fact that, yesterday we welcomed from Royal Caribbean Rhapsody of the Seas, 2,377 visitors. right, onto the island. And usually they would not be making a cruise ship call at this time of year, although we've been pushing very hard for it, let me tell you. But in addition to bringing the passengers, they were also bringing vital aid that we need on the island.
15 tons of fuel, that's
correct. 15 tons of fuel, because, we're running boats constantly back and forth between mainland Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. So those boats are going up every day, up and down, and they need to be refueled a lot of the times, well, all the time. So that fuel goes a long way. They also brought a lot of good aid that we need right now that we're going to be sending up to Carriacou as soon as possible. And then the thing about it is that the crew came off the ship, and the crew was like, we want to help. Do we donate money, or what do we do? How do we help? Right now, they were only in town for half a day. And they decided they were going to go out into the stores, the supermarkets, and just buy products, buy goods that they could then donate and leave on shore that we could actually then send to Carriacou. Wow. So ultimately, it was good that the taxi drivers, those who are vending, those are the sites, were able to receive some revenue unexpectedly in this situation, just because of Royal Caribbean being a responsible corporate partner, trying to help the islands that have been affected by this, because we speak all the time about sustainability. We speak about how do we continue to be good corporate partners, good corporate citizens, and this was a good demonstration of that. So they fortunately reached out and they were like, how can we help you? Like, we need aid. The fuel will be great, and dropping some passengers would also help us out.
I mean, I think it's a very noble gesture of the passengers not being able to traverse the island as a regular tourist normally would. Although I saw a few buses on the road, but the extensive tours, I don't think they could have done that.
Usually a half-day call doesn't really go all the way to the north because of the time. You don't want to feel rushed when you're on a tour if you're leaving at 9 o'clock and then you have to be back by 12:30. So that's almost an hour to get up and almost an hour to get down. So, but the thing about it is that, at the end of the day, we did like a tourism visit and assessing all of our infrastructure just up to yesterday, trying to complete that. And pretty much most of the sites, even to the north, are still being able to reopen now and be ready for business. So when a crisis like this hits, we want to go out to the world and let the world know that we are open for business, we're ready for business. We don't want you to not come to Grenada because you think, it might be insensitive. Because remember, after Ivan, visitors were coming into town after the devastation, and they were still looking to spend money however they can. They were still supporting the economy however they can. And the fact is, with most of our infrastructure still remain intact in mainland Grenada, it's helpful that we could continue to generate revenue for the economy, and then that will also again help with how we rebuild Carriacou and Petit Martinique. So but the fact is, if you look at the tourism numbers for the first half of this year, we were almost 30% up year on year from 2023 with that point of the year, right?
Okay. The first half.
First half, exactly. And 2023 was a previous banner year, up a total of 9% from 2019, which was a banner year before that, before COVID.
Yes.
So the whole idea is that, tourism does play its part in contributing to the growth of the economy, to GDP growth, and we're not going to take our foot off the gas with that at all.
That leads me to the question. Now, what would you say attributes to that increased visitor arrivals? I know in recent times the GTA has been ever present in media, not just locally but regionally. Mm-hmm. I look at BBC, I look at CNN, I look at international news, and every now and then something that is not quite normal, you're hearing Grenada.
That's correct. We've been very aggressive in what we wanted to do, how we want to market. It starts with having a good team, starting with a great board of directors, having a great CEO in place, and a great support team and supporting staff in place as well. So, it starts with just understanding the market, how we actually going to get a message out. We don't have the largest, budget compared to most other destinations in terms of the tourism budget, but we have to use it smartly, use it wisely. And the thing about it is that how are we taking the natural resources, the product that's Grenada, the Spice Island, being the Spice Island of the Caribbean, and share that with the world. And I think it's just really about, understanding and building close relationship with our industry partners as well, being ever present, being in their face, continue to be in touch with them, and then strategically using our mediums of the marketing mediums to get the best value for money continuously. Sometimes you would see like a destination branded all over like a train station, but sometimes you pay millions of dollars for that ad, and is it really giving you value, right? So like, okay, we are punching a lot more above our weight class as a tourism authority in Grenada. So we like, okay, how do we get to CNN? How do we get to some of these places where they can actually demonstrate and show Grenada and talk about Grenada, send a journalist to Grenada on a continuous basis, so they always publish to their readers or their viewers content of Grenada. And once we get to these credible sources, they're able to sort of, their readers believe them, and they're able to then, send that message out about Grenada. And again, like, we had a sustainability conference here, and always having a close relationship with partners. That's why, for example, we had like Royal Caribbean in the port yesterday, because it's really about relationship building. It's really about being together.
And I must commend you and your team, Ms. Roach, and everybody within the Tourism Authority, because people who follow news, you would recognize that in recent times you're hearing and you're reading about Grenada in places that we're not
traditionally you weren't there.
Yeah,
that's
definitely. Spice, you said it. Grenada is the island of spice in the Caribbean. Well, maybe even the world too. Yeah, we've got the best spices
and best quality. Best quality spices.
Beryl devastated. I was talking with some friends, and we were making a comparison, and we came up with the fact that Ivan came for roofs.
Right.
Beryl came for plants.
Yeah.
Because of Carriacou, Petit Martinique, the northern and to the northwestern part of the island, we got some devastation in houses and building structures and so forth. But primarily, our crop, and especially our tall trees, were battered.
Yeah.
Any plans because we have to replant our spices?
That's correct. And again, talking about how we use tourism as a vehicle to sort of rebuild, right? And we've always had a volunteerism program as well in place, where it was we have a dive and conservation program where we ensure that the reefs are sustained properly and maintained properly, and they're cleaned up. And now we get this opportunity to tell the world, come to Grenada to volunteer. Right, come to Grenada to help replant spices, because people want to go on vacation, but at the same time know that they're doing a good deed, right? That they're doing something positive to impact the community. And Grenada is not a mass market tourism destination. It's very much, it's for that traveler that wants to go off the beaten path, right? So that's what we justify. Sometimes it's not as cheap as going to Grenada, but we give you more value because you're going to the real, authentic Caribbean island. And coming here, you have an opportunity to help with our replanting. So we are going to be going out to the world with that message, and also the fact that we want to help our brothers and sisters on Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Carriacou and Petit Martinique has always been at the forefront of our marketing campaigns. Now going forward, there are a lot of initiatives that the Tourism Authority has been rolling out, but one of them which we will have at the right time, because of course accommodation is an issue in Carriacou now, is really about how do you help go to Carriacou, Petit Martinique? How do you help them, clean up, help them rebuild? You could just volunteer. So just having a lot more volunteers coming in on an ongoing basis to help and assist the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. And more importantly, we want people to go there and spend money. So at the right time, we would, start ensuring that infrastructure is being rebuilt, and visitors are going there in a manageable way, so they could go there and spend money, because that's how a lot of individuals and businesses make money.
Yeah, it will have the economic spill-off. As a matter of fact, in terms of your volunteerism, Carriacou was earmarked to have, that's not voluntarism, it was planned, strategically planned by the GTA, a underwater sculpture park for Carriacou.
An underwater sculpture park, and you know what, it's the containers containing all of these statues were supposed to arrive July 3rd in Grenada and offloaded and sent to Carriacou July 4th, right, for immediate construction and installation. The whole thing with this underwater sculpture park is that the message right now couldn't be more timely.
Right.
Because the concept is a world adrift. It talks about the issues of climate change on our very fragile environment. It talks about how climate and the crisis of climate affects those people who make their living by the sea. And more importantly, it talks about the fact that the children, the next generation, are the ones that's going to really have to live with this and deal with it. So the images you're seeing on the screen right now are of actual children that were scanned, 15 from Carriacou and 15 from Petit Martinique. So they represent real children.
Okay.
Right? And
wow.
And the whole idea is that they are on a fragile flotilla looking into the distance because it's telling the world that what we do about climate change now is really up to us. We, as this generation, globally, we're the ones that have to act now. And the passage of Beryl is a perfect example of that. Because with Beryl, you had a storm that was unprecedented and pretty much just historic. Yeah. The water degree temperatures of 23 was 2 to 3 degrees warmer than usual.
Yeah.
And how
that's
often?
Scary, yeah?
That's very scary. And how often are you hearing about hurricanes forming
that early? Yeah. Well, it has never. That veracity of the hurricane is the first in hurricane recorded history.
That's the point.
At that time of the year.
That's exactly the point. That's the first time something like that at that magnitude, a category 4, and forming that far south and hitting us. Like you were just mentioning on your weather update, we have tropical waves backed up like as if they're walking into a bus station. And they're this far south.
That's crazy, man.
So the thing about it is that this is why this message is going to be here, because I think that 2 or 3 months from now, the world is going to move on, start thinking about other things. They're going to be distracted with other things happening, other disasters, and other situations globally. And we do not want the world to take their eyes off of our sister islands. We have to remember that, and I think that we're looking now. I mean, the whole idea is that we want to get this installation done. The sculptures are actually coming on the 17th now, but we have to ensure that we do it. That when we do it, and how we do it in a way that's not taking away from any resources that are needed right now for the rebuilding effort of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. So we're still assessing that. We're still assessing how we could deploy it, when we can deploy it. So it's a decision that has to be made, and once we figure out the logistics of how we could do it in a tactful way, we would look to do that as soon as possible. But that's the whole idea. The idea is that climate change is real. We have to pay attention,
and it's important to involve the younger generation into that preparation on living on that climate change impacting world, because we will be gone. They're the ones
that are going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, they're the ones that will be feeling the brunt of the actions that we take today.
And that's the point. So that flotilla essentially is 30 of them, and they're sailing into the distance, telling the world, what you do now is going to affect us. You have to act now.
Yeah, and get them into acting as well. And while we remain on Carriacou, I mean, it's sad, but we also we were talking about the Chinese proverbs that do not waste a crisis.
Correct.
There was a planned after Carnival cool down for Carriacou.
That's correct.
And that can't happen.
Well, no, it's not going to happen this year. But at the end of the day, since Carriacou is always very high on our list of priorities in terms of marketing for Grenada, in my opinion, I always think it's the most beautiful place of Grenada, right? Carriacou and Petit Martinique, you go up there like, wow, this is beautiful, it's stunning. And I think that the whole idea is to keep that message top of mind. That even if when you play Spice Mass, the concept was that after Spice Mass, every year going forward, you're going to go to Carriacou the Wednesday after, till it's the weekend. and relax and enjoy the beauty of Grenada, right?
Yeah.
And I think that we've gotten to the point now that obviously this year that's not going to happen, but we want to still keep it top of mind because we want to have this as a tradition going forward. So we don't want to not talk about it. We want to say, hey, there's a Caracou cool down coming. Right, so it's Caracou Carnival cool down coming soon.
Yeah,
essentially.
Yes,
but when you're leaving Spice Mass this year, the whole idea is to ensure that you probably leave something, a donation, something that you could bring down when you're coming down with you from wherever you're traveling from, that you could donate.
When you're bringing it, hey, this is for Caracou.
That's for Caracou, you know. And every little bit counts, you know. Don't think that, you know, because I can't give a lot of money or bring a barrel of stuff, it doesn't, you know, every little bit does matter. It adds up because, you know, that the toothpaste you brought for somebody's going to use it. It's going to end up in somebody's house. Yeah. And I mean, I think that, and we're seeing that right now, you know, especially, I mean, I've been doing a lot of volunteer work with NADMA. So I'd like to just give a special shout out to all the folks there, the leadership at NADMA, the leadership of our Prime Minister through this event. And I mean, NADMA's been working around the clock to ensure that the aid is getting to Caracou.
And not just getting to Caracou, but it is well structured.
That's correct.
You can see that NADMA at the moment, like everything else, will have, you know, places for improvements. Of course. They have been working as a well-oiled machine.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, they're in great hands. And I think that, you know, once we continue to stay focused, you see, the thing about it is information was a little bit difficult in the disaster area when I say between Caracou and Petit Martinique and mainland Grenada, because for obvious reasons there was no telecommunications, and with there not being any telecommunications available, it means communicating and assessing the needs and getting that report back quickly, so respond. It took a little bit of time, but again, as the government has demonstrated that, you know, it's once we understand what's needed, there's no expense being spared, there's no resources being spared to ensure that everybody in Caracou and Petit Martinique gets the aid. And you know, there's a lot of long hours that are going in, and most people are just volunteering. And because, you know, we have the luxury here in the mainland Grenada of, you know, switching on the light and the light comes on and sleeping in a nice cool room, having hot water, running water. And the thing is, you know, our brothers and sisters in the north and in Caracou don't have it, and we have to do everything that we can to help. So I mean, there are a lot of long hours. You know, we start early in the morning and we go till 11-12, ensuring that boats are loaded, they're packed, and they're ready to be deployed, because, you know, there are people on the other end who are depending